When Bruce went into heart failure last year, all I wanted was for him to experience another summer. We have a cat-proof backyard that he loves. He naps in the sun all day, he goes exploring with his best friend Richard, and he plays with random objects like he's a little kitten. And he got all of that. The summer came and went. The leaves slowly changed color, and then they started falling. The frost came, and then the snow. Before we knew it, spring flowers were popping up everywhere, some more wanted than others. Suddenly, yet another summer didn't feel too far out of reach. A cat in heart failure has a life expectancy of 6 to 12 months, and we were already way past that. Maybe he would be one of those success stories I kept on hearing about. Maybe he would beat the odds. But as hopeful as I was also dealing with a lot of anticipatory grief. I dreaded traveling in case that day, that would come way too soon, would come when I wasn't even there. I even went as far as thinking about where I would spread his ashes. A little morbid perhaps, but I wanted to be realistic as much as I was optimistic. That awful day in February last year cast a shadow over our lives at the same time as it had also given me the gift of extra time with him, because he had survived. And now, yesterday, it was time for a follow-up echocardiogram to see how his heart was doing. His first after his hospital stay. It was a beautiful day. I let him outside in the backyard in the morning. After walking around for a while, he settled in on his favorite cushion. I had the urge to just leave him there. Let him live his life in peace for however long that would be. No more interventions. I didn't want to cause him any unnecessary stress, especially with his fragile heart. But I had this glimmer of hope inside of me. That maybe, just maybe, his heart had gotten better. Maybe last year was just a fluke. But I also knew that it was unrealistic. A cat with HCM doesn't get better. At least not a case like Bruce's, where it was so bad that he had gone into heart failure. A part of me also wanted to know how bad it was. I wanted to mentally prepare for what was to come. So I packed him into the car and drove to the clinic. Our other cats, Richard and Ahmed, were already there. They too were getting echocardiograms done. It became a reunion party with all three of them high on gabapentin. Ahmed and Bruce are not the best of friends, but now Ahmed was acting like that drunk dude at the bar who loves everyone. Hey, you! Yes, you are my best friend.
Hiya, Camilla, you okay, buddy? Gentle. Yeah, you wanna go out there? Huh? Were they so nice out there? Did they give you a treat? Okay. Oh, no, we're not going out there right now. And then we have Richard, and then we have Ahmed.
I was worried that Bruce would have to be sedated for the echo, which is not without risks. Luckily, he did really well for being him.
To grab onto stuff.
Yeah, he was really grabbing it.
If you need to.
It's okay. It didn't puncture anything. Normally it doesn't bother me, but his were pretty serious about that. Yeah, actually is the one that has to stay.
They're shooting Brucey. He's getting a haircut. Bruce is eating a treat. She's hard.
And then his shoulders just need to be
Good job,
flat
buddy.
with the table. Yeah. If he moves his head around, that's okay. It's just
Kind of like when you're taking
We're
her
allowed
off.
just to go get a piercing there.
Little booties on him for the.
No, wait.
Let's talk about the results of the echo. We have our little star here in the background, actually. So the results were like nothing that I could have prepared for. Like, I'm literally speechless. It's been over a week now, and I still don't know how to process these news. So let's go through it. Unfortunately, I do have some bad news, so I'm gonna start with that. As I mentioned, both Ahmed and Richard had echoes done at the same time. So in the fall of 2024, all cats were gonna go in for a dental cleaning. So they had blood work done beforehand, and that included a pro-BNP test, which actually tests for heart disease. It won't tell you what kind of heart disease the cat has, but it can kind of indicate whether they have a heart disease or not. And Richard's number came back really high, meaning that he potentially did have a heart disease. So he had a follow-up echo done not too long after that, and unfortunately that one showed that he has HCM, the same as Bruce, but he hadn't progressed very far at that point. It was at a point where he could even like outlive the disease. So it was something we couldn't do anything about back then other than just monitor it. And now the follow-up echo unfortunately showed that his disease has progressed, not to a point where it's anywhere near as bad as Bruce's case, where he's not in heart failure, and he's doing fine from all we can tell, even though that's kind of the deal with heart disease too. Often you can't really tell until it's too late, but it has gotten to a point where he will need medications daily, not furosemide like Bruce. Like, again, he's not in heart failure, but he will need clopidogrel, which is a blood thinner that prevents blood clots, which is what Bruce has been on, and 2 other medications, which at this point I don't know what those 2 are. So that's the bad news. I hope we caught it early enough that can actually stop the progression of it, and that he still can live a long and happy life. Again, he acts just fine. He's not showing any symptoms. And then Ahmed also had an echo done, and that one didn't show any abnormalities. His echo was fine. The reason my boyfriend had him do that was because Ahmed also had a high pro-BNP a couple of years ago, but that one was just, I don't know, like a false positive or like a false high reading. I think that can sometimes be caused by stress, for example. And he had a follow-up echo then a couple of years ago as well, and that one didn't show anything, but I guess my boyfriend just wanted to be proactive. So luckily Ahmed's echo was just fine. He has nothing wrong with his heart. Hi, Brucey. You want to come and join me and talk about you? Because we are going to talk about your results now, which I literally do not know where to start with Bruce's results. The echo showed that there is nothing wrong with Bruce's heart. Like, Bruce is not in heart failure anymore. Bruce does not have HCM, any signs of having HCM, the heart disease that caused his heart failure. His heart is fine. Like, other than showing some signs of aging, which obviously, like, he's in his senior years now, that's nothing abnormal. It's nothing like that needs treatment or anything. It's just, something you would expect to find in a cat of his age. But like, when it comes to the heart disease, it's just like not there anymore. Like the cardiologist didn't even know what happened, because he was diagnosed with HCM by another cardiologist at the ER clinic over a year ago, and now his heart is fine. Like, it's, I'm like I said, I'm like speechless. I don't even know how to process these news. And again, I've had over a week to think about this. The cardiologist did not know what happened. And the thing with HCM, that they diagnose Bruce with is it doesn't get better. Like typically it doesn't get better, especially when it's like end stage, as like Bruce's case was. Yeah, we do not know what happened with Bruce. And it's so weird though, because I kind of had a feeling, like even though I knew that HCM doesn't get better, the reason why I even wanted him to do the echo is because I just had a feeling, like I kind of had like this little glimmer of hope that it had gotten better, even though I knew that was like not even really possible. Like if anything, it would maybe like have stayed at the same levels or so. But I even told one of his followers who kind of like questioned a little bit whether I should even do the echo. Like should I just instead like let him live kind of? But I'm like, maybe I'm being too optimistic. But I'm like, what if his heart has gotten better? And the thing with the medications he was on, they're really hard on the kidney. So I'm like, I don't want him to take too much of it or take it if he doesn't really need it. So I just had like this little hope inside of me, or this little voice inside of me telling me that maybe it's getting better. So one part of me wasn't even that surprised. But another one is too, because I'm like, I didn't think that would actually happen. So then when it comes to an explanation of it all, like, again, the cardiologist didn't even know. So, but from just reading a little bit about it, my theory is that maybe he was misdiagnosed with HCM. There is another condition that is pretty similar to HCM, but that actually is reversible, that can just be temporary, which this one also can make them go into heart failure. But they can also come out of heart failure, and like the heart can kind of heal itself in a way. So this is the name of it. So that's like the only explanation I have, is that maybe that is what he had instead. This one is often caused by like major stress, disease. I don't know, like nothing really happened around the time Bruce went into heart failure, at least nothing that was so bad that you'd think he would get that sick. I do have a couple of things where I'm like, could that have played a role? I don't know. One was he had been on steroids, a low dose of steroids, for like on and off for a couple of years for his allergies. That was like the only thing that worked. And that can be hard on the heart. So, and I had just weaned him off the steroids. Like you can't just take them suddenly off the steroids, that's bad. So I had like slowly weaned him off it. So he had just stopped taking the steroids, like literally like a couple of days before, so when he went into heart failure. So I don't know if that could have something to do with it. Another thing is we were going on a trip, but I honestly don't think that would cause Bruce so much stress that he would go like literally go into heart failure. Bruce, that's a little dramatic of you. Couldn't you have just told us you didn't want us to travel instead? Now, all jokes aside, like I don't know, like Bruce doesn't get stressed out in that way. Like he does fine having a cat sitter, and we always make sure they're very well taken care of. And I don't even know if I had like started packing or when he even starts showing signs of the illness. So I don't know. I doubt that was it. Another thing, I did try a new food a couple of days before he went to heart failure. I don't think that would cause it either, but you know, like your mind is just spinning. So I'm like, yeah, I don't have a good explanation. I wish I did, because that's also why I still can't really like let out a huge sigh of relief. I'm definitely relieved though, but I'm still like questioning, like, why did he go into heart failure the first time? I just wish I knew that, like, because I don't know, could it happen again? Like, what was the underlying cause? But overall though, I mean, I really can't complain. Like, HCM is a horrible disease, especially when it has progressed as far as supposedly Bruce's case had. And the really, really good news is that I can take him off his medications, which is nuts. I actually started weaning him off the medications now a week ago, so he's still getting furosemide, but just a way lower dose, and now he's getting it once a day, half a dose once a day, and so far he's been doing fine even with the lower dose. So the plan is to take him off all medications completely, which is crazy because this was like supposed to be a lifelong ordeal where I was going to give him medications twice, if not more, daily for the rest of his life. And now that's not the case anymore.